You're creating your vision, know what it is, but then feel it and live it and envision it. Like vision, you're there. Persuasion is not only persuading others to take action, persuasion also works within. How do we persuade ourselves to take action? How do we stay motivated? How do we stay inspired? How do we stay enthusiastic? How do we take action when we know the opportunities in front of us? We feel it, we know it, we see other people getting ahead and we want more. Now, if you're here today, it could be maybe the majority is financial and taken to the next level, but everything I teach always could be adopted and adapted to every area of your life. You know, if you want to get into a certain college, do you need the art of persuasion? Do you want your kids to act a certain way? Do you want to get your spouse to be a part of the team? Do you want to get the promotion at work? Do you want to start the new company? Do you want to get a partner? Do you want to convince your family you're not crazy? All of that is persuasion. And most of all, something I want to talk about today is if you have any negative thoughts on selling or persuasion, I'm going to end that today because I want to share something to you. The whole thought of Field of Dreams, that great movie with Kevin Costner, that if you build it, they will come, is not true. 1 in a million things, someone writes a book or creates an invention and everybody just finds it on their own. The rest of us, the rest of the world have thriving businesses because we have to market and we have to sell. We have to persuade, get people to take action. Well, I'm going to show you today how to sell without selling, how not to be a cheesy salesperson, how to not have hype, but how to create a way to get people to take action where it's ethical, it's easy, and people will do it in droves. Those that grow seemingly effortless have replaced the word how with who. Write that down. They replaced the word how with who. You see, as we evolve, you see, you're here right now, and if you want to go faster, make more money, take your life to the next level, you're learning from me. I'm the who, right? Not because I'm the smartest man in the entire world or I'm some genius. It's because I've forged a path in a lot of areas that maybe you're hoping to go. Why carve your own path? Why learn through your own trial and error when you can learn from someone who's been there and done it? You can learn from their mistakes and you can learn from their success and you just get the path. So you already have that mindset and I wanted to share it. But I want you to think on a whole nother level of that. Is what if we started thinking about everything in the who standpoint? Meaning, we want to expand more on social media on Instagram. We've kind of ignored Instagram forever. We put effort into Facebook and we're at 1,300,000 followers. It's unbelievable. I love it. And we kind of ignored Instagram. So now to get Instagram to grow, how do you do that? The way you lay out the page and video, still image, black and white, and they have this. There's an algorithm. There's a way to get other people with lots of followers to promote you if they like what I do. They get shout outs. There's all these pieces. So we talked about it for about 3 months. And we're like, how do we do that? How do we organize it? How do I go online? And what I wasn't asking myself is the most important question. Who? Who? There's a gazillion young, amazing entrepreneurs crushing it on Instagram. I'm friends with some of the top influencers on Instagram on the planet. Why am I going to figure out how to do it when I can make a call and ask some of my dear friends that are crushing it on Instagram, or I could reach out to some of the people who post leave me DMs that are amazing, young kids killing it on Instagram. They already know how, so I don't have to figure out how to do it. I just get the who. I either learn from the who or I hire the who. If everything in your life, instead of you thinking, God, that feels so heavy, how am I going to do it? There is a who, and it doesn't mean you have to spend. I cut checks to solve problems. I do. So start thinking in life who. You know, you're having marriage problems, right? We think, how am I going to fix this? How do I get to communicate better? How? What about the who? What about reading a book on how to save a marriage or how to end a violent one? I don't know. How about hiring a counselor or finding someone you know that had problems with a marriage and they fixed it and it's amazing, or they had to go through a divorce and now they're both living okay lives, right? So if we could start training our brains to go to the who rather than the how, I think life gets exponentially less exponentially easier, less complexity. Your gut instinct, right, versus your belief. Our gut, to me, is probably not just to me, maybe I've read this someplace, but your gut instinct to me is your subconscious mind that, you know the number better, probably better than I. What do they say? It's 80 times more powerful than your conscious mind. I think that's the number. But your subconscious mind is like a computer taking in data. This worked, this didn't. This is good, this is bad. This person's shady, this person isn't. This person loves you, this person pretends to love you. And your subconscious is feeding. And if you're 20, 30, 50, 70, 90, 100 years old, you have more time of this database filling up from actual events in your life. So when you get that gut, you meet somebody, you're like, I don't know. Your gut is just comparing your instinct is comparing all this data that says people like this usually aren't trustworthy. This opportunity doesn't feel good. But then there's other times where your gut is like, hell yes, this is the person, this is the opportunity, this is my time, this is the moment in history, this is when I start the business, this is now. And then your mind starts going, well, no, it's not the right president, and your parents said you shouldn't try your own deal. And all of a sudden, you get your mind to out-talk your gut. Here's what I know. When I followed my gut in my life, the majority of the times I'm right. And what I feel like my gut is part of my heart. It's part of this whole area of me. What can screw you up is gut versus belief. Beliefs, a lot of times, are things that other people gave us. If your parents tried a business and went into foreclosure or lost the company or went into bankruptcy, you might have had the belief starting your own business is dangerous. It's horrible. You'll go broke. Maybe a college professor taught you that. Maybe a friend. Maybe you were taught that if a Republican is in office, it's not a good time. Or if a Democrat is in office, it's not a good time. Or maybe you're taught Democrats are bad, or liberals are bad, or conservatives are bad. All these different beliefs that the outside world has given us. And then our subconscious has given us our gut feeling, but then we got our belief. And to me, if you guys can, I look for simple little hacks, because you've heard all this stuff before. In most cases, you've heard it. But I like to attach easier ways. For me, gut and instinct versus beliefs is like my soul and my heart versus my head. Now, have thoughts ever lied to us? Heck yeah, they lie to us all the time. They get us worried about something. Oh my God, what if this happens? Then and what, 80, 90% of the time, it never happens. And if it does, it's not as bad as we thought, right? So your head's always getting you in trouble, the thinking process. So I'm just gonna give you those two little things. The who, replace who with how, and gut versus belief. When you feel like you wanna move forward, you wanna start the business, ask for the promotion, get the girl, get the guy, go to the next level, and something is just telling you to go. I feel it. I can do it. You feel inspired. You feel motivated. But then you start thinking, it's like, no, it's not the right time, or I'm not smart enough. I'm not rich enough. I didn't go to school enough. I don't have the right family. I don't have the right connections. It's not the right area. Real estate doesn't work where I live. My own business doesn't work. The internet's used up. Blah, 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 blah. That is old limiting beliefs haunting you and holding you back just enough. You're still inspired, but it's holding you back just enough that you don't take action. And I think if you can start thinking, whoa, what is this right now? What is this feeling? Is this a belief? Is it a belief someone else gave me? Is it a limiting belief? And what is my gut and my instinct saying? And is there a way to prove that belief and flip it upside down? Google it. I need money to make money. There's Richard Branson, John Paul DiGiorio, Tony Robbins, myself. We all started with nothing. We all started with no education. Not one of those guys I listed went past high school. So think about that. Flip that belief, trust your gut. Nothing in the world happens. You can write the best book, have the best house for sale, create the best restaurant, create an online product, sell something on Amazon. If you don't persuade people to take action, nothing happens. Apple, great example. Most all of us have an Apple product or multiple Apple products. If they didn't know how to market and sell and persuade you, would they be the brand? I'm sure there's other phones as good, maybe you have one, as good if not better than an Apple phone. But you stick with Apple for some reason, it's because they have a way of persuading that most people don't see coming. They have a way, the way everything they do is mastered around the art of persuasion. So let's think about this. If you have, and I would bet to say, because I've asked I've asked people in my masterminds and even when I'm on big stages, about 70% of you watching right now feel off when it comes to selling. When I say off, it means that you don't think you're good at selling at all, or you think selling is kind of evil, or it's just not something you want to do. It's like a lot of people say, no, Dean, I don't want to sell. I have this idea. I just want to create this. I just want to write the book. I just want to create the invention. I just want to remodel the house. But none of those equate to a profit unless you actually persuade someone to buy it. You see, I know so many people, even in my industry, people that are really smart, that'll spend 2 years writing a book. They write their heart out. They spend every night, every day. They think about it. They obsess on it. Then they get done with the book and go, I'm done with the book. I did the hard part. Now all I got to do is sell it. It's why when you walk into Barnes & Noble's, 85% of every book that you look at has not sold over 500 copies. You know that? That's a crazy stat. And I bet you that 85% of the books that haven't sold more than 500 copies have amazing wisdom in them. People have spent years. Think of the accumulated time that went into 85% of the books in Barnes & Noble. Think of the time, the thought, the history, the wisdom, the passion to go, sold 426 copies, right? So persuasion isn't something that you should have. It's something you need if you want to thrive in life. And I'm not talking about unethical persuasion. I know if you're watching me, you know that already. I'm talking about persuasion that comes from your heart, from your soul. Well, let me just ask you, do you think Martin Luther King knew how to persuade? Do you think Mother Teresa knew how to persuade? All with the most incredible intent in the entire world, right? But if they just sat there and did what they did and didn't share with the world, didn't speak, didn't communicate, didn't persuade, it wouldn't have been so massive and touched so many lives. So I want you to think about that. Do me a favor, try this on somebody. You like this. Ask somebody if they like to sell. 70 to 80% will say no. And then I'll say, hey man, have you read a book lately? And if I see him go, oh yeah. Or I'll say, just see a movie lately. Or you know, I'm in your town next week, or I'm in your town. What's your favorite restaurant? I'll always do that. Literally, I do this. It's fun. Especially if, like, let's just say a book. And you say, hey, could you know, it's like, oh my God, I read this book called, Letting Go. It's a book I just got done reading. I read this book, Letting Go. Oh my God. In the second part, it does this. And then it teaches you when a feeling comes up, we always want to hide it and go on to something else or check our phone. When really, if we just spend a little time acknowledging where that pain is, where is that worry, where is that stress? Does it live here? And let's acknowledge that. Let's lean through that pain. Oh my God, I never thought about it. Then you lean through the pain, you experience it intensely for a little while, and then it's gone. It doesn't live with you. It could live with you for years. This guy shows you how to find the pain, acknowledge it, feel it, and let it go. I mean, when I tried it, Dean, oh my God, it was amazing, blah, 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 blah. You got to get the book. I'll let him go on and on. I'll get done. I'll be like, so you don't know how to sell? You don't know how to persuade? You just persuaded me. While you were talking to me, I went on my Amazon account and I ordered the book. You just sold me. So let me ask you something. When you are selling, what are some descriptive words you could use when you're selling something? So if I said to you that Letting Go is a great book, I like so many different books. Seabiscuit. I love the movie Seabiscuit because I love the underdog story, right? So if I was telling you about Seabiscuit, and you've obviously watched me pitch on why you should get my book because I love my book, and we'll talk about that later, and it's my obligation to persuade you to take action. It's my obligation to persuade you to be here today so I can help you, right? But let's just think movie Seabiscuit. If I'm going, oh my God, Seabiscuit, you know what I love? It's this little horse that was broken down, it was abused, it was like America at the time going through the Depression. And they beat the horse, he had a limp, he had a wheeze, and I love the part in the movie when the trainer said the horse was walking through the fog. And he was quoted on saying when the first time he saw the horse, he looked at him. And he said, the horse looked me right in the eye as if to say, what the heck are you looking at? And I love that part. And then all of a sudden, the horse just needed a little competition. The horse was, this little horse, and they just used him until finally they realized when he got head to head with another horse, he wouldn't let any horse beat him. He'd get head to head and you'd hold him back. When you let him go, he'd win. Oh my God, the movie's so great. It's inspiring. It's good for children. If you have kids, it tells a great message. You could tell them about the underdog story and never give up. Now that's what I feel about the movie Seabiscuit. I really love it. I hope I persuaded you to be intrigued about the movie. I make nothing off that movie, but I want to ask you, when you're telling someone that, when I just told you, am I being the worst version of me or the best version of me? Tell me some descriptive words of how I was. That you could write them down here, or you could just think them in your head. What are some descriptive words on the way I was acting? Was I enthusiastic? Was I excited? Did I look alive? Am I motivational? Was I inspirational? Was I full of life? Was there color in my cheeks, right? That's when you're selling, especially selling done ethically. We're going to talk about that. The next thing is to love what it is that you offer and make sure it's a positive impact on the person or the world. We'll talk about that in a second. But when you're selling, you're the best version of yourself. When you're telling somebody about a crappy movie, are you the best version of yourself? Like, I went to that restaurant. Oh my God, the pasta wasn't cooked. The waiter was so rude. It took an hour to get our seat. Is that the best version of you? No, when you're selling, you're the best version of you. So take that thought, take that energy, and we're going to start to wipe away any negative thoughts. In fact, even if you don't have negative thoughts, we're going to start wiping it away and show you how to get extremely positive, in fact, to where you're excited about persuading. But I want to share a disclaimer right here, right now. The reason I can hold up my books, hold up my courses, ask you to come join here is because I love what I offer people. I know the impact it's had on people, and I'm not bragging in any way. There's whoever it is that you can follow that can train you. But if you're looking to do what I've done, I don't feel there's anybody better than me. So when I feel that, and I know if I can get you to watch my monthly trainings, to read my book, if you want to try real estate, get one of my real estate courses. You want to try expanding your business, get Millionaire Success Habits or a Winning State of Mind. I know those courses are so good that I love what I offer, that automatically, that simultaneously makes me say, I better get good at persuasion. Because if I just did an ad on Facebook without me burning a book or holding one up or pulling one out of the Tesla or being on an interview with Larry King, if I didn't do that, if I just sat in my office by myself and said, my book's really good, people are just going to come buy it. Crickets. If I went online and I said, hey, I don't want to be a salesman because I wrote a really good book here. And if you want to go to another level of life, you really need it. Could you click the link below and get it? You know how many people would buy it? Goose egg. Maybe my mom. Maybe one of my aunts. That's it. Books, product, life, nothing goes without persuasion. Nothing. Would Mother Teresa, would Martin Luther King made the impact on the world if they weren't massively persuasive? But were they salespeople and cheesy? Hell no. But they found a way to love what you offer. So think about that. If you're starting a business, if you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to fix your relationship, you want to get the promotion, you want to get the board, you want to sit and change things, think about to be the best version of yourself and make sure that you love what the end result is supposed to be. If you love that, that's the angle compared to the product, the service, the company, the thing you want, the asset you are to the company. When you can find that and love it and feel it's a disservice if you don't get the person to say yes, then all of a sudden you want to know the power of persuasion. You want to know the art because their yes changes their life and yours, and you get to stand out as a company or as a person. So think about it this way. First, let's start with here. It all starts with a vision. Now, what we're going to do now is build your enthusiasm, and we're going to build your art of persuasion backwards a little bit. So this is the way I envision teaching this, so this is the way I am going to teach it. This is my way of persuading you to learn how to persuade, okay? So it all starts with a vision. Now, I use the where are you, where you want to go, why do you want it? How are you going to get there a lot? You've probably heard me share that because I don't think nothing happens in the world unless you have a crystal clear vision of where you want to go. Everybody focuses on what they don't want. People who are successful focus on where they want to go, their destination, right? So I'd like you to think about that right now because we're going to start building this momentum. Is I want you to start thinking about where it is you really want to go. So if you have a pen, if you have a paper, right now, write it down. Think about if it was a year from now. We're not going to go through this exercise long, but this is the foundation of so much of my education. But if it was a year from now and your business or your income or your side hustle or your side business was doing exactly what you wanted, what would that look like? How much money would you be making? What would you be doing on a daily basis? How would your heart feel? How would your confidence be? Your courage, your enthusiasm be, right? So get a little vision on what you want. You probably already have this. We've taught this a lot. But think about it right now because we're going to build this. And if it's not business, think about where do you want to go with your personal life? Where do you want to go with your health? Where do you want to go with your relationships, with your friendships, with your spouse, right? Think about that, because it all starts with having that vision of where it is we want to go. This is step one of the right enthusiasm to sell, okay? You're creating your vision, know what it is, but then feel it and live it and envision it. Like vision, you're there. So let's say you want to start your own business. Let's just say it's real estate, right? You want to do 10 wholesale deals in the next 12 months, and you want an average $7,000 each, right? That's $84,000 you want to make extra with side business doing wholesaling with real estate. Let's put yourself there and see what that feels like, right? Vision what it feel like to wake up and go, wow, I just did my 10th deal. I made over $80,000. What does that feel like? What's my goals? How am I feeling courageously? Confidence? How am I treating my family? What am I doing with that money? Start feeling it and start building the passion of not only where you want to go, but then the vision of what it feels like. Now this is a backdoor way to get you to sell like nobody's business, okay? So I want you to see, what is the passion? How does that feel? How does that light you up? What is that emotion you'll feel? Attach an emotion to it. I talked about that on our New Year's training if you got it. So I'll go quick on that one. So the third, now that you kind of know where you want to go, and then you envision what that goal is to where it's exciting, now I want you to do something that, this is for people who feel like they procrastinate. This is for, I'm actually getting hot in here. People feel like they're going to procrastinate or they should have gotten started sooner and they didn't. I want you to think about selling yourself daily. Persuading yourself daily. Because here's the thing. The world, I don't mean this in a negative way, but the world is set up to steal that from you. Because you get a little excited, you're getting ready to go do your thing, and then you watch something on the news. You hear from a friend. You watch the economy's changing. You had money in Bitcoin or stock market, and things went sideways. I don't know what it is, but the world wants to steal it from you. So again, I'll use this analogy a lot. If you want to get in shape, can you go to the gym once and expect to be in shape for the rest of your life? Absolutely not. If you want to be enthusiastic, if you want to be passionate about what it is that you do, you have to sell yourself daily. You can't just get motivated today because we're here together and you're a group of hundreds of amazing people just like you. You have to sell yourself on a daily basis, no matter what that means. If it means writing your goals down and looking at them every day and looking in the mirror and selling them to yourself that I am going to do this. I am going to get in the best shape of my life. I am going to do 10 wholesale deals. I am going to start my business. I'm going to write that book and learn marketing. I'm going to start that online business. I'm going to sell my product on Amazon. I don't know what the heck it is, but you do. But you have to get yourself enthusiastic every day by focusing on your vision, how it's going to feel when it's done, because when you sell yourself, enthusiasm comes automatically. Passion comes automatically. And guess what? You become a persuasive person without selling. What's up? What's up? Hey, don't forget to look at the action steps we've posted below. They are the perfect way to take your success, abundance in this crazy world to a whole nother level.